Dear students of class 7th, Assalamu alaikum. So, you know, we were talking about sympathy. I have already discussed sympathy. It is first what? Sympathy, you know, it is sharing of feelings of another, or we can say a sorry for someone. A sorry for someone. So we have already discussed it is first fort, and today we will take it is second fort. Dear students, you have already gone through the poem probably. This poem is written by Charles Mackay. You already know it. In the first fort, Charles Mackay. The writer of the poem Sympathy is Charles Mackay. We have already discussed it in the last lesson, in the last part, and here we will take it is next part. The poet Charles Mackay, he was again in want. He was again in want. He was again in grief. He was again in pain. He was again in distress. He was again in sorrow, feeling sorrow. He was distressed. Right? Now, here is some a turning point that we are going to see here. Next time, when he was again in want, when the poet was again in grief, when the poet was again in pain, when the poet was again in sorrow, in distress, this time a poor man came to him. A poor man. In the first word, it was a rich man came to him. He gave him gold, silver, money, etc. Right? Helped him. But this time a poor man came to him. A poor man came to the poet, Charles Mackay. So he saw Charles Mackay in pain. He saw him in grief. He saw him in want. He saw him in distress. He saw him in sorrow. And he took pity over him. He stayed. He stayed. Who? The poor man. The poor man stayed for a day and for a full night. For a full night with the poet. Right? He served him, the poor man served him. Served the poet, served the Charles Mickey, right? For a full day and for a full night, for a day and for a night, right? Though the poor man had no money in his hand, in his pocket, no gold, no cash, no gold, no silver, nothing at all. He was all empty because he was a poor man. Still, he stayed for a day and for a night with the poet, and he served him. He served him in a proper way. Not only this, he, the poor man served the poet by binding his head. You see, what is sympathy? The poor man served the poet by binding his head. By binding his head and caring, looked after him for a day and for a night, right? Though he had no money, though he had no gold, though he had no silver, he was not in cash, he was not in kind, nothing at all empty. Still, he did a good thing. He showed really a real sympathy when he stayed there for a day, for a night, and binding his head and caring for him, looking after him for a day, for a night, right? The poet was impressed. Charles Mackay, he was impressed to see the approach, to see the attitude of the poor man. Now the poet was all okay after 2 days. He was all right. He was all right. He overcame. He overcame all the pain, grief, sorrow, distress, right? Now he wanted to pay back to the poor man. But how? He wanted to thank the poor man for his great service, for his humanity, for his approach, for his aptitude, for his attitude, for his qualities that he showed, the sympathy that he showed towards the poet. What could he pay for his service? Nothing. Here, he was surprised, here, he was puzzled, he was worried about how to pay back to the poor man because he had shown a heavenly sympathy to the poet. A heavenly sympathy. Here is a word, a beautiful word. What the poet wants to convey the message to the people, to the readers. It is heavenly sympathy. Heavenly sympathy. Dear students, you must remember this. Heavenly sympathy. Shown by the poor man towards the poet. Towards the poet. right? But here the poet only accepts. Here the poet only accepts that gold, money, kind, or cash is great, is great, but heavenly sympathy, but heavenly sympathy is far greater, is far greater. This is the message that the poet wants, Charles Mackay wants to convey to the people, to the readers, that sympathy is not only when someone is in grief, when someone is in pain, when someone is in distress, when someone is in want, and the sharing of feelings is not only that we pay him in cash, in kind. No. Sympathy is something else. When someone doesn't have money, gold, cash, etc., but he must say, he must say some kind words. He must show such an approach. He must see the real problem, and he must sympathize with the man, with a person in distress. With a person in distress. Cash is not only the thing that we need, but we need some words. We need a heavenly sympathy because it is far greater. Because it is far greater. So, when someone is in grief, it is a very good lesson for we people, a very good message for we people that it is not necessary that we will pay the amount back, that we will help him uh, in cash, in kind. No, we must have a heavenly sympathy towards the people who are in distress. We must say good words, kind words. We must help him in a way that he accepts that everything is not gold, everything is not money, everything is not cash, everything is not kind, but words are there, but service is there. So we need a very good thing to have a very good service, right? So, dear students, it was all about today's lesson, sympathy, a very good poem. Uh, Here he differentiates the rich man, what he did, the poor man, what he did, both, and we came across the message that poor man showed heavenly sympathy towards the poet, right? As compared to the rich man, as compared to the rich man who only gave him gold, money, etc., and left. No words of thanks, no sympathy, nothing at all. But the poor man did a great thing. He rendered a great service towards the poet, right? So this was all about today. Thanks, dear students. We will take it is here we have too many words that we came across in yesterday's and today. Want, grief, pain, distress, power, man, day, night, served, like these words. And we will see in which form they are verb, noun, adjective, etc. etc. It will we will take it tomorrow, inshallah. Okay.